Another interesting conversation was when someone asked and said that, I do work on these things about myself, like healing and trying to figure all of these things out, but I do wonder, like, back in the day this was not something that we used to do, and like our parents would turn out just fine, especially our fathers who happen to experience success and they're still on the go 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 energy, and they're like pushing their emotions aside, not having to deal with it, and just going at it. And like, they dealt with all of these things differently and they made it. Like, they achieved the successes that they wanted. And so, what is the importance of doing all of this work now? And I was like, that's a great freaking question. But let me ask you this: as much as our parents or our fathers achieved a type of success, which is a financial success, do they feel fulfilled? Do they feel happy in other aspects of their lives? Are they healthy? Are their relationships healthy? There are so many layers to happiness that we have forgotten because we only assume that that one thing, financial success, is what you need to be happy. Now, I'm not saying it is not important. It's fucking important. It is bloody important to make sure you're financial secure. But is it the only thing? Because all we used to do was push that aside, push our emotions, push whatever is going through in our lives, our traumas, just in order for us to reach that goal point financially. And then what? You realize it's never enough. You realize that I still don't feel safe, and you still chase and you chase, and when is ever enough? You've got millionaires or billionaires losing their money in a day, and then what? They lose their identity. The next thing they know, it's too late and their relationships tank. You would notice a lot of parents before and the children of this day and age are the ones who are actually going through their own quote unquote trauma, which is maybe like not the best relationships with their parents, not the best marriages that you're seeing, not the best health. There are other factors that they're dealing with it, and you'd notice as much as they're rich or they're successful or they have a great running business that's quote unquote stable or secure, they're not happy, they're not fulfilled, they're not the best that they can be, they're not their favorite version of themselves. The most minor inconvenience happens and they feel like shit. And when the one thing that they've been chasing is gone, what else? What else would make them feel like as if there's more meaning to life, there's more like things matter? Hence why you need to heal so that you don't end up repeating whatever your parents would probably do, your caretakers would probably do, or like let traumas be the reason why you're acting a certain way. And so his other question was like, how do you get over certain traumas? Like, how do you like just, let go of that pain and not let it impact you or influence you as much anymore? And yes, it's a process to deal with trauma, but the one thing that can easily help you right now is to sit down and like acknowledge the trauma and for all the pain that it has caused. Yes, it was difficult or whatever, and then allow yourself to give just a positive or beneficial meaning to it. Now flip the script, flip the story, and just ask yourself, okay, because of that, whatever that had happened, what have I learned? What have I gained? What have I received? And start looking at it in a positive light, even though it's difficult AF. Start doing that, because that's the only way you start like letting go of the burden and not allowing that pain to keep influencing you today, your decisions and how you feel. So if you start looking at it from a positive mindset and you're like, oh, I learned this, you start applying that, and then you don't experience repetitive like problems or traumas. That's another thing that a lot of our families back then experienced: repetitive problems, repetitive dramas with family, repetitive dramas with finances, repetitive dramas with a lot of different things. And they're like, oh, this is just how I am, this is just how my life is. When actually you don't realize that you can change your beliefs, you can change your habits and things that you do, how you think, how you feel, in order to change those results. So it's not life happening to you, it's you making life happen based on, again, your thoughts, your feelings, that influences your actions, which influences your results. This is why it's important to do this work, to understand yourself, to understand why you are the way that you are, and what you can do to change in order for your results to change, for you to take charge, for you to take control, and not succumb to life and be like, shit, this is just it. Like, there's nothing more. I just need to deal with this crappiness, this trauma, and drag it for years to come and be the reason of my life, instead of like, I need to change, I need something different. And I can make that change happen. So that's why it's important to do this work, and that's why it's different from back in the day and now. And because, yeah, he says it's a lot of people end up using anxiety, emotions, and all as an excuse, and it's true. So our job is to find that middle ground, that balance between emotional resilience and emotional sensitivity, because both are extremely important. It's not denying emotions at all, and it's also not letting emotions take over you as well. It's understanding what emotions mean, taking it as messengers, and then taking the right actions or response according to it. That's beneficial for you, in your favor, rather than being on autopilot or reactive about your emotions. So I hope that makes sense.